I'm Dan Drake. This is Front Up on GenoTV.com and Channel 99. And with us today is Molly Glazer, the Artistic Director of the Nantucket Community Music Center.
Hi, Dan.
How are you?
I'm
Welcome.
well, thank you.
It's great to have you here. I know there's something specific you want to talk about, so we will get to that. And then I'd like to go on and talk more about the Community Music Center and what you're about.
You can ask me anything.
All right, I will. I won't hesitate. Maybe even about guns.
I did well, no.
Sorry. This coming weekend, you have a festival, a particular festival coming up, featuring the work of Mr. Mozart.
You might want to mention when that is, because it's just going to play.
Yeah. And do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I would be happy to.
When is it going to be?
April 6 and 7. And last year we did a Baroque festival celebrating the music from the Baroque period. And this year we decided to focus on the music of Mozart. And we have two concerts. One is on Saturday at April 6th at St. Paul's at 4 o'clock. And that is an instrumental concert. I'm bringing in some professional string players who are friends of mine who I've played with for years, who are wonderful. They were here at the Baroque Festival last year, and also they played a concert with me at the Quaker Meeting House in the summer. And people are still talking about that. They're really extraordinary. And we're going to do chamber music of Mozart, duos and trios and quartets and things like that. And on Sunday at 4 o'clock at the Congregational Church Vestry, we will be having choral music and vocal music. One piece is called the Exultate Jubilate that one of our voice instructors, Jessica Heuser, will be singing as the soprano soloist accompanied by the strings. It's a gorgeous piece, not to be missed. And then the Nantucket, the NCMC Community Chorus will be performing under the direction of Barbara Elder. And this is, there's 40 people in that chorus who are our neighbors and bankers and everything else in our community, and singing this glorious mass of Mozart accompanied by the strings. So it's a real community event the whole weekend.
Why Mozart?
Well, do I have to answer that?
Yes, you do.
Mozart's extraordinary. Mozart's divinely touched, and there's so much work. We're just doing a mere fraction of his work. I mean, really, we could celebrate any composer. I mean, I hope one year maybe to do a Billy Joel weekend.
Now that would be fantastic.
Well, there's so many great composers you could just celebrate. And Mozart's just classic in every sense of the word.
I don't mean to imply I don't like Mozart.
Yes, you do.
I do like Mozart. This is the first, the kickoff of your season in terms of. Yes, yeah. Come on in. Sorry, it's a little confusing.
There you go. Just have a seat right there. That's all right. We'll cut around it. Go ahead. Let me get it on you, Dan.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is the kickoff to your season for the community.
Starting the spring season, we go into. We have, I'm going to say, at least 10 or 12 events between this festival and the fall, through the fall. We have our community jazz band concert in May. Our women's chorus performs. We're presenting the Washington Sax Quartet in July. We're having another concert with our former student Nick Davies in August. We're presenting the music of Stravinsky, The Soldier's Tale, live music to a film, a cartoon.
Oh, wow.
And that'll be really fun.
Wonderful.
Also, and just many things going on. So,
which is only part of your mission. What's the other part of your mission at the community?
The major part of our mission is music education. And we have over 100 students playing piano, violin, cello, guitar, learning to sing, trumpet, ukulele. We have an active ukulele band that Andy Bullington directs. That's for young people and adults.
Do they ever perform publicly?
They do. They do. We had a student recital yesterday at Sherburne Commons, and gosh, I must have had, I'm going to say there were 12 or 14 kids that performed yesterday for their families and residents there, and it's just great. You know, the whole journey of learning an instrument, polishing a piece, breathing through the fear that getting up in front of people, that's part of the journey. Yes. Getting into the soul of music and sharing it with an audience, it's a great thing for young people.
How many different instruments are taught through the Community Music Center?
Well, I just went through them in my head. I'm not sure
Roughly.
I might have missed something. I mean,
5 or 15 or 25?
No, you know, because we're an island, we're limited to the teachers we have here, although we do have 2, soon to be 3 commuting teachers that we bring here once a week. You know, the main requests are piano, guitar. We have a very strong violin program. Cello, ukulele, what am I forgetting? Trumpet, I'm sure, a voice. I'm sure I'm forgetting something.
That's all right. Yeah, just try to get a sense of the breadth of the program. Yeah. And you say all but 3 of the teachers are local people?
Correct.
Which is great because it demonstrates the depth of talent that's here in the island.
Yes.
How many teachers? Well, again, I assume you have some teachers teaching more than one instrument. And
yes, and some teachers are busier than others. Yes. I'm going to say we have about 12 teachers.
That's great.
And most of the teachers, like myself, we all cobble together a living, you know, so it's not a full-time thing for anybody. So
we have to move on to the subject of the building.
Yeah, it's okay.
What's going on there?
Well, we had a fire.
Yes, we did have a fire.
Everyone knows about that. It was not a happy day for anyone involved.
Is the building owned by, who owns the building at this point?
Remain Nantucket owns the building.
Owns the building, all right.
They purchased the building with the intent of having our organization and the community school as occupants. And that is still the intention, I'm happy to say. I did talk to Melissa Philbrick this morning to get an update about the building. The fire was, of course, devastating.
How far from completion was the building?
We were supposed to move in at the end of May. So, you know, when was the fire? In February, right? Yeah.
January, February, yeah.
And so, you know, it's a few months, months away. But certainly, you know, well, let me say this. I'm very grateful for a bunch of things. I'm grateful to Remain, you know, for their continued support around this, even despite their great loss. I'm grateful to so many people who have stopped me in the supermarket and on the street and just expressed their sadness about it, which shows me that our organization has support in this community. And you know, I've been very touched by all of that, really. Melissa says, as of this morning, that the structural engineers went in right away after the fire and assessed the damage, and the damaged parts have been removed. Next week, like industrial kind of strength cleaners are going in to clean the soot and that kind of damage.
Fire detritus, if you will.
And then the structural engineer will have to return and then determine what has to go and what is still salvageable.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of stories going around. One is that the whole, everything other than the front facade has to go.
I don't think that's true. It was determined right away what had to go and what was salvageable, and there was a lot that was salvageable. But after next week, that will have another determination about how much is salvageable, and then, you know, maybe a new move-in date can be set, but at the moment...
Well, it's going to be a year probably.
You know, Melissa's saying the fall.
Really?
Yeah. But again, that's going to be determined after next week. You know, because then...
There has also been a story going around, and I don't know whether you want to comment on this or not, that the builder's insurance had expired.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
You have not heard
No,
that? Okay.
I have not heard that at all.
All right, because that's fairly common. I've heard it several times.
You know, there's been a lot of rumors. Yeah. Actually, someone stopped me in the grocery store and said, "I heard you were in the building." I was not in the building. And then someone else said to me that I heard that all of your grand pianos were in the building. And that was also a rumor. There were no pianos. We had not moved anything in. It was just still a shell. So, you know, rumors are interesting, aren't they?
They are.
In a small town.
Especially on this island. So you will use it as a performance space as well as a training space?
We will have a parlor, like what's called a double parlor that will seat maybe 35 people. And we can use that for student recitals, for small intimate soirees, for a variety of purposes. But we don't have a big performing hall, unfortunately, and that would have been amazing.
How many teaching rooms will you have?
We have 3 teaching rooms, plus a big space in the lower level, which is for rehearsals for big ensembles like our community band. We're going to be able to store things down there. I mean,
which you now have all over the place.
They're all over the place. You know, we've been very grateful to churches and, you know, be able to use church basements and re-rent space in the high school, and we're just all over the place. So to have a permanent home, I mean, that was the intention of Remaine's gift to us. You know, to give us a permanent home is just tremendous.
Well, it looks like that's going to still play out, which is great. And I think, you know, the firefighters get a lot of credit too for the work they did on that.
Yeah, within an hour. I mean, they had it contained. I mean,
and it's remarkable because it was a difficult fire to fight, as I understand.
And you know, again, it didn't spread, right? I mean, I was having flashes of 1846 and, you know, a fire that destroyed half the town. I mean, you know, there's a lot to be grateful for about no one was hurt.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, thank you, and very best of luck with your Mozart Festival this weekend.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad you were able to come and talk about it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.